So in the last three sessions, we highlighted the importance of online teaching, what are the tools and techniques, and then what are the modes, what are the components of online teaching, advantages of online teaching, etc. Okay. Now, any new thing or anything for that matter will have the advantages as well as the disadvantages. There will be some barriers. So let us think of how to avoid, what are the barriers of educational technology or integrating technology in education or barriers of online teaching. Uh, So, what are the problems of use of educational technology in the classroom? The first itself is some of these technologies cost uh, more to the institution as well as to the nation. So, it is difficult for the small scale schools and colleges. So, because we are now seeing, and I was telling you that ignore the second part of the slide. So it is costly because all the students are not well equipped with the technological laboratories. They don't have good systems, and the students also don't have smartphones. That is why I said the government thought of uh, reaching this unreached through Vidyagamma project. So this is the problem of the cost and the lack of training. Technical training plays an important role in making the teachers familiar to all new educational technologies. Due to generation gap between the students and the teachers, and due to the fact that most of the teachers grew up with the kind of technology and that their students have access to and command over, they have a steep learning curve when it comes to new technology. So there are two things here. One is the teacher needs the technical knowledge to be to use the technology. At the same time, the students also need training to learn through online and to send things through online. Sometimes the students don't have the knowledge or the teachers don't have the knowledge, and sometimes what happens is the students are little ahead of the teacher, or sometimes the teacher usually the teachers are ahead of the students. So this happens because of training problem, and we cannot have a uniform formula because not all the teachers are technically advanced, neither all the teachers are technically advanced, nor all the students are updated. So there is a problem with respect to the training. Then resistance to accept change. It is the nature of the human beings that sometimes we are not ready to accept what comes to what is new. We don't want it. Like some teachers say, I don't want to learn computers. Why should I learn? Especially if he or she is a government teacher, we can't do anything because they are all permanent teachers. So this is the attitudinal problem. So somehow, and some parents also think, like now some parents are thinking, I don't want my student to have online education because I don't want my child to get access to the smartphone because of various reasons. So it is people are not ready to accept the change. the infrastructure problem is there, that we already discussed at the time of cost itself. So it may be the gadget problem, or it may be the space problem, or it may be the network problem. Sometimes I have a smartphone, but I can't buy the data. Okay, I may have the computer facility, I may have LCD, but I don't have LAN. LAN is the problem. Next, the class divide. Many of the students may not be able to afford these costly devices because of various reasons, like the parents can't get it, then the attitudinal problem, etc. Some parents are not ready to get their children smartphones, not because they can't afford to, but they don't want to, because the moment the mobile is given to the child starts seeing other things. So that is the apprehension of the parents. Then different social dynamics, like technology adds complexity to everything, that is the support, teaching, learning, budgets, etc. It is inherently disruptive. For example, the modern technology, the privacy, the footprint, and the digital citizenship are all important in the content being learned and how learning is being measured. And one more thing here is, some students, for example, are able to get online teaching, but they are not able, they are not, they do not have the access to the supplementary things, like the things which are supportive to the classroom, in addition to the online teaching, whereas some section of the students can get it. So then there will be difference in their achievement. That difference in the achievement will again bring uh, the contradictions, the controversies, and the clashes among the different sections of the society. Lack of alignment between technology, curriculum, and instruction. This is very, very important, because uh, all should fall in line. That is the curriculum and also the, because in the curriculum or in the textbooks we have the suggested methods, the suggested pedagogy, and in that maybe that very less opportunities are there for online teaching. So the moment we are adopting technology, the curriculum should also change. It should be feasible. It should let itself for the instruction. At the same time, the suggested methods also should be technology based. That should happen. Most of the examples in our curriculum are based upon the regular classroom teaching, the traditional methods, etc., and very less the techno based methods. So this there is no much coordination among the curriculum, the instruction, and the technology. So that is also posing problems. Then lack of clarity about the purpose of school. That is, in one article in a famous New York Times, it was written that in Classroom of Future, stagnant scores, that is, discusses the school in a particular school district where fully implemented technology in the classroom. The school has invested so much. The children use laptops, etc. But the school is also suffering from low standardized test scores, because it has the fruit is not is up to the expected level. For example, when I use technology, it is natural for the authorities that when we spend this much, the return should be to this level, but the returns are not to that level. Therefore, the very purpose of online education sometimes is being questioned.
So this is the outcome of that study, that the teachers worry is that while the technology is engaging on a creative level, the students may be missing out on basic concepts like mathematics and language. Other proponents of technology point out that standardized test scores may not be best to gauge the performance of the students' intelligence and creativity. Why this statement is made is uh, through online teaching, through online supportive materials, the performance of the students can be enhanced, but through that, you cannot actually gauge their intellectual abilities and the creative abilities. Why this is, I can give him a performance test, and or I can give him an paper pencil test on intelligence. Looking at him, I can gauge how fast he is doing it, how well he is doing it, how creatively he is doing it. But through online testing, it is difficult to do it. Still, others are yet to reason that there is no reason to spend millions of well earned tax money on the system before knowing whether or not it's sincerely helpful for educational growth. This is what many teachers are opining. Then, common challenges and concerns. So, the common challenges and the concerns of teacher that the teacher experience when they are integrating technology and digital media in the classroom are the students are misusing technology. I think already we discussed it, because especially the adolescents, unnecessary curiosity is there. And now the moment the smartphone is given to the student, they try to look into the sites which were uh, prohibited to them by the parents. Why some sites? The smartphone itself was prohibited all these times, but now they are getting access to all this. So there is a fear among the parents and the teachers that the students may misuse technology. Then the teacher's knowledge and professional development. So to what extent the teacher has grown professionally? Then keeping the students safe online, because of course the incidents have happened, especially over Zoom meeting. There were reports in the press that the information about our students has been linked to the Chinese and they are misusing. I don't know to what extent it's the true, but that was a news report about Zoom. That's why not now, like after Corona, before COVID problem itself, the government banned Zoom app because of this, because Chinese are getting the information about the Indian students. So that means we cannot keep our students safe online. Then cost of new technology, of course, we already discussed it. Then keeping up with the changes. So, and one other study came out with 10 reasons that uh, what are the reasons the teachers have given for opposing this online teaching or introducing technology. Technology isn't always the answer for all our problems. That's what some teachers feel. Pre-service teachers have reflected on having preferences for manual writing. And friends, to tell you, in fact, I was also in this monitoring committee of B.Ed colleges, that is to check their assessment of internal marks. So we have made it compulsory for the students that all their assignments should be handwritten and not typed. That is because to avoid copy paste as much as possible. I don't say that if I make that copy paste is not possible at all. But if I make manual writing compulsory, then it is difficult for the students to copy everything. So we were following this. Similarly, here they say incidences of doubling up on time writing notes is possible through this. Students can also prefer reading print, and teachers can disengage from introducing new technology when they don't feel it adds anything extra. So this is one reason for not accepting online teaching everywhere. Then differing device capabilities and instructions. When students are required to bring their own device to school, there can be large differences in their device capability. For example, between what a cheap Android phone can do compared with what an iPad could do. Students may have difficulty in writing on small devices over long periods. Teachers may need to give multiple instructions for many different devices. Just one small example I'll give you, friends. Sometimes we will not be able to open a file sent by somebody if it is in 2010 version and if our system is in 2007 version. I think many of us have faced this problem. When such is the case, when such is the case, if, for example, there now I have sent the files to your email. I ask you to open your emails and download the file. You can't do it because of the differences in versions. Okay, then I cannot teach to that group of students who could not download it. Okay, so and sometimes what happens, it is a word mobile, it is an Android mobile. Such differences are also there, and that leads to the difficulty for the teacher to transact. And one more thing, that may lead to the different complexes among the students, that A is having an iPad, B is having a simple smartphone, C is having a sophisticated mobile, etc. Then it is easy for the students to be distracted. Students regularly use devices for social media, playing games, instant messaging, text messaging, and emailing rather than for class work. For example, whenever you ask them to join online, they say we don't have data, but they would have data to do other things. So this is further distraction. I get a mobile for my son to listen to the class, but he uses it for social media chatting. So students are being described as digital rebels according to the social media and texting, cyber wanderers, succumbing to virtual games, and e-learning pioneers undertaking online classes during class time. So these are the three problems. That is, the use of social media will become more, and actually they are getting addicted to social media. We were thinking of how to take out our children out of this addiction, but pandemic is now forcing us to take online classes. That means I'm giving more opportunity for the child to become addicted more and more rather than getting relief from that social media. So this is one reason. Like I have seen people, there was one joke that six of them will be sitting in one room. That is the grandparents, the parents, and the son and the daughter. The son and the daughter-in-law. All the six of them will be sitting in one room. All of them will be having a smart mobile in their hand. And one sends the message to the other shows the thumbs up. So all the six will be sharing the same thing and showing thumbs up, etc. All the emojis they show. So what it's showing is, though we are sitting next to each other, we are not speaking, but we are sharing through net. This is one harmful development to the society. That is, we are getting stuck to the machine rather than to the human beings. This is one dangerous thing which we don't want our elders to have it, but our children are becoming like that. That even if there is somebody sitting next to him, he or she wants to see the mobile more than his or her own parent. So this is very bad, and that would be encouraged through online learning. Then, of course, they are always playing virtual games, so there is no exercise for the hands and legs. Like what were the games we were playing? We were playing so many traditional games, so the whole body used to get exercise too, and all our sensory organs used to be exercised. Now it is not so, and they are becoming more patriotic, or they are becoming more stuck to online studies, and they may do it even during the regular classroom. We can see the children going through the smartphone even in the classroom. I think this all of us have experienced. I know, friends, that online learning can be used in addition to regular classroom, or it can be done when we can't have the access. But it shouldn't become, I feel, the regular feature, because we are teaching the human beings and not the machine. So it's not like one machine teaching other machine. It is a human being teaching other human beings and a set of human beings, so that one-to-one correspondence should be there. That technology can affect lessons for long time and flow. That is, lessons are interrupted by regular negotiation that reduces the lesson time. This is related to students not putting the screens down, concentrating screens from teacher's view, pretending devices don't work, and devices being insufficiently charged. So these are the reasons quoted by the students. Maybe the facts or may not be the facts. Whereas if they were in the class, I could have checked really what is the problem and got it corrected. But I have become helpless if I am at a distance from my student. And even our students have started telling, we have started taking online classes because of pandemic problem. And our students also say, I'm in a remote place, there is no net, I don't have data, and my mobile is not working. So I have borrowed the mobile from my neighbor. So all these are the reasons. But I can neither confirm nor scold them because I can't do it. So that is the problem. Digital technology training and preparing lessons to include new technologies can also be time consuming. I think this we already discussed in the previous session. Teachers need more professional development. Of course, this is the data from an Australian study, and we can imagine the figures in India. It will be much more than this. It's according to a study, it shows that there are more than 3 lakh teachers across Australia. They need to access to ICT improvement for classroom implementation and to keep up with continuous technological advances. This needs to be regular, scaffolded, and sustainable. I think this holds good to our country also. And I just want to say one thing here. A few years ago, first our university gave desktop to all of us. one desktop to everybody, maybe some 14 years ago. After a few years, they gave us laptops to all the teachers. But there are teachers who were very seniors, their desktops were kept as they were covered. It wasn't even dusted. It wasn't even used once. And their laptops were being given to their children for using it. And some of the teachers got retired without using either the desktop or the laptop even once. This is the status of a university teacher. Then imagine the status of a primary school teacher whose salary is less, can't afford to buy a system, can't afford to buy a laptop, and the teacher is posted in a rural place. Then how can that teacher use or opt online teaching? When the status of a university teacher teaching postgraduate studies is so, what would be the status of a primary school teacher or a high school teacher? Very recently, a fortnight ago, one of our assistant registrars in evaluation section was telling me, when he asked the chairpersons of the respective board of examiners, BOEs, to give the details of the teacher and their email IDs, etc. He got the reply that about 30% of the teachers in the university did not have their own email IDs. Of course, it looks very astonishing, unbelievable, but it has to be believed because this is the status of our university teachers. They don't have an ID of their own. Sometimes they'll tell, if it is so urgent, I'll give my son's email ID, my daughter's email ID, etc. That means to say, our university teachers themselves are decades behind. Then how can you expect the school teachers to become updated and be in the present and use online resources?
Government, madam,
Yes.
years ago, government gave primary school headmasters the TV television sets and VCRs to show the lessons and all that to the students, but they kept those in their houses to watch movies and all that.
No, that's what is happening. I'm
Yes,
telling you,
that's
our
true. Yes,
our postgraduate teachers,
yes, yes.
our our postgraduate teachers, they didn't even dust the new desktops. They were asking the clerks to do it. And the new laptops went to their children because their children are software engineers. But see, when my son or my daughter is a software engineer, can't I learn how to use it? And sorry to say, this was the news 15 days ago I received from a person from administrative wing telling that 30% of the teachers have said that they don't have email IDs. And he is not a teacher. He is from the administrative wing. He laughs at teachers. Okay, so this is the status. Then not everyone has technology at home. We discussed that they don't have internet, access to internet. There is a digital divide of reduced computer literacy among students from indigenous, low socioeconomic and regional or rural backgrounds. Let me tell you, I myself didn't have Wi-Fi at home because there were many interruptions in the data. I purchased internet because now I purchased Wi-Fi facility because now the only option is online teaching. So we'll have to. And we can't have online classes from our department many a time, because though we have Wi-Fi, there is interruption in the uh, connection. There is always interruption in the internet. Therefore, we resort to teach from home because of this facility. So sometimes what happens is we can afford to, but we wouldn't have done it because there was no necessity. But now there is necessity, and as a university teacher, I think I can afford to. But a primary school teacher may not have access for the Wi-Fi or anything. We can't scold them, we can't blame them, because that is the actual situation. They can't afford. And some of our university teachers, they don't want to spend. They are asking, why should we? You provide us the facilities, we will teach. So the reason is there is absence of technology at home. Maybe that I can't prepare more also because I have limited data in my pack. Therefore, I don't do it. So I may ask, why should I? It all depends on the attitude of the teacher. Sometimes we feel it's our responsibility and we buy the data, we use the data. Some teachers say it's not my duty. You provide me the material. Providing the material, providing the internet facilities is the duty of the universities. My work is only to teach. When that is the thing, because of lack of internet facility at home would also contribute for the poor performance from the teacher. And they say you cannot blame me because it's not my duty. I have signed to teach as per the facilities provided by you. Since the facility provided by you is very poor, we can't teach. Okay. So that is the feeling. Then this creates a challenge for teachers if they have to set different tasks for different students, because one student has an internet, another student has only a smart mobile, another student has a laptop, a simple laptop, another student has an iPad. So the one who has an iPad uh, reciprocates fast. He wants everything to be done. Whereas then the child without smartphone would suffer. There would be a difference in the complexes. He says, no, I can't do it. You put everything in the WhatsApp, then I'll do. The other student says, no, I don't want to go through the laptop. So all these differences will come. So it will be difficult for the teacher to cater to the needs of all the students coming from all these sections of the society. Then teachers need to protect students. Immersion of students in digital technologies has created additional demand for teachers to protect students' behaviors online, like safety, legal risks, and privacy. I was referring to the problem of Zoom, and in the classroom, that is theft and locking of devices. So this also happens. This is an additional burden on the teacher. I wish to quote one example. Maybe some 2, 3 years ago, we had a computer in the lecture hall. But we had vacation, then we went to the classroom. After the vacation was over, we couldn't operate because one of our students had blocked it by giving a password. So we had to change the system itself. So this also may happen. And sometimes the students have better computer knowledge than the teacher. So they may play all this. So I may not be able to do it. Sometimes why your students, our own children, when my son was small and I was not that much aware of all this, I don't know what he used to do. I think he was putting a password and then barring it from my use. So I had to beg him to release it, to open it so that I could use it. That is because I'm falling short of that knowledge. Okay, this is also possible. Then not all the teachers believe in using technology, because still some teachers feel old days gold. So they don't now. The some teachers are not ready to use it, so they always argue that this is good. Then they do not align. They say that this technical learning will not align with learning goals, so they are not ready to integrate technology into the curricular content. Lack of adequate ICT support, infrastructure, or time. I was just referring to this. Appropriate access to the technical support, that is, classroom and availability of infrastructure like the computer labs and the softwares, the policies whether to administer the digital homework, and time allocated to incorporate new technologies are the major challenges for the teacher. I was telling you this, like even when we have online classes, some of our students did not attend online classes and they said we no we can't because we don't have smartphones. Then, when we informed the administration said that we can't blame the students and we can't make attending the online classes compulsory because of the legal system, because they are all students in the regular programs and not correspondence programs or distance education programs. So we can't ask our students to attend compulsorily the online classes, because some it's our duty to somehow make provision for the regular classes as per the existing law. If it was a correspondence class, then there was no problem at all. But since it is a regular classroom, we will have to make provision for attending the regular classes. Then tension between the students and the teachers. They have been tensed because it's personally owned devices, difficulties accessing power sockets, and when the students find information online that conflicts with what the teacher is teaching. For example, just like the previous issue which we had, that blended mode, like one study says the online mode will have more fruit than the blended mode. The teacher may say no, no, blended mode is effective than online mode. Then the student will have one information by the teacher, contradicting information in some other site by somebody else. Therefore, there would be differences. So that would lead to the problems. Okay. Now, let us see what some studies have said about the problems. Okay, so I'll go to the previous slide. Sorry, I copied the wrong file. Okay, so according to the study conducted by Koller, Harvey, and others, the study says the challenges around those who have access to this technology and those who don't have. So this is the outcome of the actual study. This is a research finding. So they say differing level of computer. One is the digital divide, those who have and those who don't have. Then differing levels of computer literacy. One can just do something in the Word file. He or she cannot get access to or cannot meddle with, say, uh, a PowerPoint presentation. So this is with respect to the different levels of the computer literacy. Or they cannot do anything with the Excel file. Then less involved due to decreased teacher learner and learner interaction in the learning experience. So in the classroom, when you are sitting side by side, you are forced to talk to your next your peers. But in the online, there is less interaction because We needn't speak to anybody. Like you are all joined online now, then you get disconnected the moment the time is over. Then there may not be any interaction between the teacher and the pupil, also among the pupils. Whereas in the regular classroom, definitely there will be an interaction between the teacher and the student because we are looking at each other, and there would be interaction among the peers because you are all sitting under one roof, and that is completely absent in the online system. So like what's happening is, now if you ask the children, now the children are missing the company of their peers. I just asked one of my neighbor's child, are you missing the teachers because of online education? She said, not the teachers. Then I was thinking, oh, she's telling me only that she's not missing the teachers. Then I asked, whom are you missing? She said she's missing her friends. She sits in front of the laptop because she can see at least the faces of the friends. So this is what is happening in online education. Then Binglas in 2019 found that the major barriers of educational technology include lack of confidence, competence, and a lack of access to resources. Lack of confidence, how it is said, I'll tell you, like it's easy for me to speak when people are not in front of me, but it requires little bit of confidence when I meet you face to face. So, since the teacher is not given an opportunity to face the student, and the student is not given an opportunity to face the teacher and the others, naturally there is less opportunity or no opportunity to gain self confidence, because it's easy for me to speak online but difficult to speak when we are in face to face meeting. So that lack of confidence of course also leads to the lack of competence, because when I am meeting you face to face, there may be some unseen controversies or unseen problems, and I'll learn how to handle those situations. So all that is not there in online teaching. So that is the finding of the second study. Then according to Ketterall in 2005, barriers of technology include lack of motivation due to poor social skills, there is no interaction, poor computer skills, and a lack of availability of access, a lack of time and class time, and lack of motivation. So, this is the outcome of the study conducted by Catherall in 2005. And according to Park and others, misalignment between the teachers and the administrators creates difficulty for teachers. Misalignment is, for example, like I want to share the slides, but the administrator may come in the way and prohibit me from sharing the PPT. Okay, so this is one simple example which I want to quote. Then cost implication, technology is disruptive, entrenched organizational culture focusing on traditional learning. Technology can disrupt classes when opened in the class. Availability and access to information can lead to increased cheating and plagiarism, according to the report in the paper The Economist 2000, in 2008. I think all of us agree with this. Like after the IT revolution, after the communication revolution, it has become easy for the teachers, easy for the researchers to write articles, to write reports, and to publish articles, and to do projects, and to write books. So now Actually, people used to say jokingly, what is research? That is researching in 100 books and, sorry, researching in 10 books and writing our own one book. No, it's not. Now, it has become very easy with the information communication, like just copy it from 10 books or 15 books and make your own book. So in order to avoid that, we are coming out with anti-plagiarism softwares. So what I'm saying is, the copy paste has led to many researchers, scholars, teachers, professors to to come out with their own production, though it is not their own work. So let us see how we can overcome the digital barriers. The digital transformation is about using technology across organizations and institutions to streamline processes, make staff more productive, and improve the user experience. How this is possible? So, now we'll have a check on the works done by the teachers. We can do it. We can avoid plagiarism. We can avoid copying. We can streamline. We can say 1 hour, so many slides, etc. In the education sector, it is about the teachers and the students. It could mean a move to the cloud or updating the school tablets, as well as implementing software and services which aid day to day running of the school. So it's in our hands, like how some of you were saying that you have the information managing systems where you will upload all your classes or any other information or any other work you have done it, and it would be monitored so that there is sharing and there is no copying, there is updating. Like a teacher A is better in technology than teacher B, C, D. Therefore, A will train the teachers B, C, D, and whatever I have the access to the information which the others not are accessible. Therefore, I take that, I put it on the college website, I share it among the teachers. So this is through mutual sharing we can solve this problem. But in all cases, it should be about enhancing the learning experience of all the students. Therefore, it is really encouraging that the government launched, or it's high time that the government will launch a policy paper with regard to all this work. It hasn't come in our country because it was not required all these days, but now I think the government may come out with a policy because it's the need of the day. While these are bold ambitions for digital transformation to be effective for all educational establishments, several factors will need to be taken into consideration. I'll go to the next slide, please. And there is no single technological solution that applies for every teacher, every course, or every view of teaching. Because the problems are different with respect to the subject. Like as a mathematics teacher, I have problems, my problems with respect to online teaching are different from the problems of a language teacher, the problems of a social studies teacher. So we cannot have uniform solution for all the courses, for all the teachers, for all the classrooms, I mean, online classrooms. Therefore, we'll have to have the solution for a particular problem. Integrating technology in the classroom is complex and varied process. Therefore, we'll have to use different means. Meaningful technology integration depends on more than device use. These are important steps to make, there are some important steps to make sure integrating technology aligns with how you teach and what you are teaching. So, friends, one thing let us remember, it is always the person who handles technology is also important, because whatever may be the digital media or the content in the digital media, then the different techniques, but it is in the hands of the teacher how you organize the content and what methods you will follow to see that effective transactions will be there. Is only on time online first thing content. So like how I'm organizing my PPT, we'll go from the meaning, the components, the uses, then the disadvantages or the barriers, then how to overcome, like that. So that is with respect to preparation. Then which method shall I resort to? Shall I use only online teaching, or should that online teaching be supported by some scaffoldings, then followed by the testing through Google Forms? Or before going to Google Forms, so first my preparation, then my online class, then supporting materials through scaffolding, then reflections by the students, then I go to testing online through Google Forms. So all these I'll have to think of as a teacher. Okay, so this is the meaningful integration of technology, and it becomes meaningful, fruitful only if the teacher makes up his or her mind. Then professional development has tried to address teachers' technology struggle, but much of it has been limited to one shot or one solution for all, but it has to be thought of from the different angles. We need to approach to ICT professional development with different layers to handle the various situations the teacher find themselves in, and to handle with varied levels of teaching experience and confidence. Developing a common vision about the role of ICT in education with stakeholders and creating a shared community of practice is important. Without holistic improvements to teacher support and training that addresses the many issues the teachers face, there is risk of creating a generation of ill-prepared students for a digital future. Okay, so like some other challenges, I think all these we are. One more important challenge is the burnout, that these two will pass attitude, and we'll have to prepare for this. So I think, friends, we have covered what are the barriers supported by the finding of the research studies and how we can overcome these barriers. I think now the house is open for discussion. Yes, friends.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. May I know who is online? Please tell your name.
I am Dr. Sabira from D. Devrajers College,
Okay. Chikballapura.
Economics.
Okay. Okay, madam. Please tell me.
A wonderful presentation, and whatever you are
Thank you.
in reality, in the sense even students are unprepared, even the teaching community is also not prepared fully to face the challenges. But is it advisable if this corona continues, is it advisable to go for these online sources? Will it not have a health impact?
You mean to say if pandemic continues, should we
Yeah.
use this? Don't it have a health impact?
Huge health impact on
Issues.
students as well as faculty.
Sabiha, is not clear to me. Are you
Yep.
saying that if we call them to the classroom, even if pandemic is there, will their health be affected? Or if we use technology, their health will be affected?
That's what, ma'am, I am asking.
No,
Which
no,
is the
be clear. Do you mean to say, if pandemic continues, if they are called to the regular classroom, we will get infected? Is it the problem you have raised? Or
no, ma'am.
through the use of content, online teaching, our health is affected?
Online teaching, our health is affected.
I know our physical health is affected to some extent, but if that's why I'm saying ideal situation is face-to-face classroom supported by online teaching. Ideal situation. But
Yeah.
at times, like for example, now take our own examples, the HRDCs.
Yeah.
It was becoming very difficult for the participants to travel from their place to other HRDC to attend RCs and OPs.
Yeah.
Okay, but
Yeah.
the technology has come very as a boon to all the participants and the resource persons.
आपने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था जो लास्ट सर आए थे यार कौन आया था वही मेरे को तो आशी तोपो पूछ रही है मुझे आशी तोपो पूछ रहा है मुझे याद नहीं बच्चे मुझे वो फोन कर रही थी
somebody has to unmute there.
मेरे को याद ही नहीं आ रहा कौन था वो जिसको मैंने इंट्रोड्यूस किया
Okay.
मैम का नंबर दे दो कहती
Kashmiri madam, please mute madam.
Kashmiri madam, please
Kashmiri
don't
madam.
disturb me.
हाँ जी आशी
Hello, Rohnika Sharma madam. Please mute your audio.
Okay.
Sabira madam,
Yeah.
please
Yeah.
mute your audio.
No, sir, I was speaking with madam.
Okay. So I think at that, in this situation, online teaching is better. Limited use will not affect physical health. But in the COVID-19 problem, it is difficult because if we come in contact, the pandemic will increase the problems. At that time, I think our physical health is protected rather than being harmed. Okay. Then,
Okay, thank you for your wonderful sessions, madam.
thank you. But we have time, the discussion, I left the session, stopped the session because further discussion we have left you now. Not that the session is over. Friends, I think you got me?
Yeah, hello, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Yeah,
Is
hello,
it Manoj
ma'am.
Kumar
I
Sharma?
am Dr. Manoj Kumar Sharma. Yeah, speaking
Okay,
from
please tell
Aligarh.
me.
Ma'am, I have a question to you. That would
Yes,
you
please.
think that this online teaching is just equivalent to or classroom teaching? Because in this or classroom teaching, we learn many things. Or not only we learn this subject, we learn that how to sit in the classroom, how to talk the teacher, and because there are so many aspects that we learn that the personality of
Classroom manners.
teacher, and that how they talk or manners. I think this all thing has vanished in this online or teaching. That it is my opinion. So what do you think about that?
Very good question.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, I think you remember Mr. Manoj Kumar Sharma. I told we prefer regular classes because it is a teacher teaching the students, that is a human being addressing a set of human beings. It is online. Regular teaching is better than online teaching because it's not a case of a machine addressing a set of machines. It is a human being addressing a set of human beings. So we teach many things other than just teaching the academic or the subject content. Okay. I just give you one small example. In the classroom, we teach the basics like you'll have to stand up when the teacher enters the classroom. But now, through online, I cannot teach that. Okay, I cannot teach that. We see social maturity is enhanced through regular classroom teaching. But now there is no scope for social maturity at all. the very basic manners. Then say man or a woman is a social being. We are social animals. We need to interact people. We can't keep in isolation. Actually, it is said the punishment next to hanging is keeping in isolation. But pandemic is pushing us to isolation. Whereas in classroom, we meet, we sit together, we learn to adjust. I think all of us remember, even if there is no space, we push and 5 of us sit in one bench. And if I remember my school days, we used to enjoy sitting like that. We used to enjoy sharing the boxes.
Exactly.
But regular classroom, online teaching will not develop any one of any etiquette plus any sharing. So all those components of social maturity cannot be enhanced, cannot be catered to through online teaching. If I teach my son only through online, then he becomes just a person with knowledge, but not a complete person because he doesn't know how to adjust. Especially in this uh, time where all of us have nuclear families and we have one or at the most 2 children at home. So all those uh, qualities required for coexistence, cooperation, coordination cannot be developed through online teaching. Okay? Okay. Then?
Ma'am.
One thing I want to add.
Yes, please.
There is a pandemic. We are all.
You'll have to be little louder, Kantraj.
Okay, ma'am. Madam, just because that there is pandemic, we are using the online devices or online mode of teaching. Otherwise, also we can use. In what way we can make that facilitate in future, madam? I'm telling. Just because of the pandemic, what we have, we are using the online mode of teaching. Otherwise, it would have not been possible. If we have to use technology, we have to adapt both the things.
Yes.
In that situation, further, if there is no pandemic in future, at that time we don't use the technology. Only those people who are interested will use that. If we have to make that compulsion that everyone has to enable the technology. What we can do, madam? That's
Okay.
the question.
Okay. I'm telling you, the first teaching would be through face-to-face. That is, in case of in an ideal situation where we don't have pandemic, our first preference will be for regular classroom, and online teaching will be helpful only like what we are doing now when we have the problem of transportation. And online teaching or online education should be supporting to the regular teaching. It is supplementary. Okay, it's only supplementary. So first I teach, and the extra study material, supporting study material, I'll scaffold and send it to you on mail. If there is any problem, I'll explain online, and I take your reflections. I mean, through regular classroom, I cannot take everybody's reflection. So I invite the reflections of the students to my mail, okay, so that I'll get to know where I was strong, where I was weak, etc. Then I use it for evaluation through Google Forms. So that is all these, that is scaffolding, reflections, and evaluation. These three I am using for the regular classroom teaching in addition to regular classroom teaching. Got it, Kantraj?
Okay.
Okay, then please.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Nagaraj, madam. This is Nagaraj Bhumla, ma'am, Assistant Professor, SR Kanti, College of Education, Ilkal, ma'am.
Okay, please tell me,
Ma'am,
darlings.
ma'am, now COVID is going on. Once the
Yes.
COVID ends, now once again we will switch it on to traditional teaching.
Okay.
So we will forget all these online teaching. So is it called as the backward development if we switch it on to traditional
No. See, now
traditional
I
teaching?
know. You say after COVID problem is over, we'll get back to our classroom and we forget online teaching.
Yes,
We go back. That's what you say. You go back to a previous time. So it is the negative development. I think to avoid this, the UGC has planned that compulsorily the students will have to opt for one MOOC.
Yes.
Okay, that is one thing. And one more thing is we should always remember that we should never regress, we should always progress.
Yes.
Okay, so it's in my hands as a teacher that I will also continue and I will make my students also continue. Let me give you one example. In the beginning, when SPSS package was recently used, our university conducted a training program and I was also very enthusiastic. So I did it and I used to practice it. Then as the work increased for me, as the number of research scholars became more, I stopped using and I started encouraging my scholars. So now scholars are able to use SPSS and not me as a guide, let me be frank. So now I have decided, this pandemic has taught me that whether it's required for me or not, I should take some data and start calculating or finding out the t-value, etc. through SPSS package, at least the lower version. So it is my attitude problem, Nagraj. If the teacher fails, then the system, the authorities will have to step in and see that we will grow. That's why we say, that's why the RCs and the OPs are there. And again, the theme will be ICT one day. And they don't leave you. There will be questions so that you'll be compulsorily studying. I saw somebody noting down the points. I was feeling very happy that you all have got interested in noting down the points. But immediately it flashed to my mind, and taking down the points maybe because of your future test. But whatever it is, the final thing is right. We have seen that you will take down the points, whether it's because you have liked my lecture or whether it is because of the test you are going to take. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, Nagraj. Then.
Ma'am, good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, who is it?
Akhtar Banu, madam.
Okay, Akhtar Banu, please tell me.
Yeah, madam. As you said, even annual, we have to submit ASAR, annual self-appraisal report.
Yes.
Even in traditional classroom, there is a parameter where use of ICT in class, where there is a weightage of marks, where the teachers have to show, in that context, even we have to show this. So
that's
ICT
why I said when the teachers fail, the authorities step in and try to take measure to keep ourselves, like somebody was telling me, I mean, a teacher who has attained superannuation a decade ago, he was saying it anyway. After 3 years, you'll get promotion. No, after 5 years, you'll get promotion. No, I said all those days are over. Now to get promotion, if I'm a teacher, I'll have to prove myself and then take it. So the authorities will have to think of, for making our teachers learners always. Of course, we make the statements on the stage. Me also, as a senior teacher, will make a statement on the dais that teachers are continuous learners. The moment I get down from the stage, I will request my junior or my guest faculty or my research scholar that I can't do this. You please do it for me because you are technically faster than me. So in order to put a check on me, the university will ask through self-appraisal whether I'm updated or not. Okay. So it is a human tendency. The moment I become a permanent teacher, half of my work goes down. After I become a professor, I think everything goes back because I'm already a professor. I used to tell my senior that everything is over, sir. Why do you worry for a person who is reaching superannuation? So now also sometimes I think, why to do? I have got hardly 6.5 years of service. But when I met a colleague from other university, she said, I've got still 5 years to do it. Then I thought that I was so wrong. I said, just 6.5 years. But she says she has got still 5 years to do so many things. But for me, 6.5 years is nothing to do anything. So this is our attitude. That's why to make the teachers continuous learners, the system is stepping in and taking measures. So I feel sometimes that it's good that at least we are kept active through enforcement of regulations and the rules. Otherwise, I think we would have been dead academically. I told you, no, the joke which I said, that a student says, my father has the notes, therefore I'm not listening to you. And really, sometimes I really feel proud of my guest faculty who were my scholars, because they say that whenever we give them a work, they take it and they expect the work to be given because they can grow. They say that each work helps us to grow. That means to say, I am missing an opportunity to grow. Okay. So always let us think that any assignment or any enforcement from the administrative side to do some academic work, let us always remember that it is for the growth of our own selves as teachers, our own selves as academicians, our own selves as researchers. So that's what I told you, the attitudinal problem, that one teacher telling that she has got still 5 years and me telling just 6.5 years. So this is where the difference lies. Even on the last day of service, I should always remember I got still a day to learn, because I have come across a professor by name Professor Madhukar, who was a principal in a aided college at Bangalore. He completed his PhD after his retirement. I think none of us do it. We do PhDs because we get increments, we get promotion. It is compulsory to become an associate professor, etc., etc. But that person did PhD after his retirement. Like he thought that during his job, he cannot do PhD because he is doing the work as a principal more. So he did PhD after his retirement because he did it for the knowledge sake, not for the sake of promotion. But how many of us do it? I myself sometimes say, whenever a student comes asking for PhD, I say, this is not going to help you. So let it help to a person who is in need of it. But there are people who do it for the knowledge sake. And that is the case of so many great individuals. We, the teachers who are in service, let us decide that we will all learn, keep learning. When I am learning, my students will learn. When my students will learn, their students will learn. Especially we, the teacher educators. We are the role models to our would-be teachers, who will be the role models to their students. So if I'm a wrong role model, my students will also become like that. So we are affecting two generations. Let us remember, we are not like other teachers. We are special because we are molding two generations of people. Okay. If my students are not doing, it's because I have not taught my student well. I have not molded my student well. Therefore, he failed. So I will be the cause for two generations. Let us remember that and do good work, because we are teacher educators, not just teachers.
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Yes, madam. Right, madam.
Then,
Thank you, madam.
okay. Anybody else has got anything to say? Yes, friends. Are you people feeling hungry? Yes, friends.
Madam, myself Chandrakant from SRKNT College of Education, Ilkal.
Sir.
Madam, you explained everything. It is the platform, it is temporary platform actually. It is traditional to the parallel to the or parallel system, madam. ICT based technologies are the that is the supplementary platform for traditional style of activities, madam. Due to pandemic, it came forward. Teacher is a ever learner, madam. Still, I am now my service is only 2 years and 3 months, madam. No, now I am joining this RT.
No,
Because
good. I really appreciate Chandrakant,
because
sir.
only the thing is, madam, to learn what kind of
very
learning
good
activities is going on in the present scenario. We to adapt it and we to imbibe it, we to transmit our students. That is the main motto for me, madam.
Very good. Very good.
Madam. It is, so only I expressed my gratitude to you, madam. Because teacher is a ever learner, madam. Teacher himself is a ever
we are learners till our last breath.
Till our last breath, we are learning, madam.
Yes,
In
yes,
that
good,
sense,
good.
your explanation, your projections are in the right track, madam.
Thank you. Thank you,
we
sir.
are very much thank you to madam. We are very much
Thank you,
thankful to
sir.
you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam.
Okay. Okay. Any other suggestions, reflections, please, friends? Yes, friends, are you feeling hungry? In the last session and the previous 2 sessions, you were active till the end. I think you are all feeling
almost all the questions raised by our colleagues, there are like similar, madam.
Okay. Okay. Then, okay, can you say how best online education system can be used in the regular mode as well as for the distance mode, other than what I presented? Okay. Hello. I think you people heard my
during
question.
pandemic period or general period, madam?
General period. General time.
Ma'am, is it
General time classroom teaching, ma'am.
This will definitely interest the learners, madam. Definitely, this will really make the students or learners interested. Especially ICT, whatever we are using, online teaching will definitely help them.
In regular class also you can use, no, sir, technology.
Yes, regularly.
It will be more effective.
Okay.
Yeah,
Question. Okay, let me make it very specific. In teacher education, in your teacher education content, just with an example, show me what you would teach in regular classroom and how would you support it with scaffolding. That is the supportive material, supplementary material which you send to the students by taking a topic of your choice. I think you got my question, friends. Yes or no?
Yes, madam. Through Google Classroom.
No, by taking
no, in regular class,
topic. Just tell me which aspects you'll be covering in the regular classroom and what would be the content of the supplementary portion you will be scaffolding and sending it to the students.
Ma'am, I can use flip learning, like sending the materials previously before the class itself. For example, if I'm tomorrow, like the next class, I'm going to take something like psychoanalytic theory. I can send the related videos or something, the theory to the students beforehand. And when they come to the class, they will have previous knowledge and discussion mode we can have there. So in that way, I can use a flip learning, I can use in the classroom.
How do you send? Madam is asking, how do you send?
Yeah, surely.
Just I want a clarification.
Through Google Classroom, we can send, no, madam?
Ma'am, in the video mode, I can send, otherwise WhatsApp, I can use a different technology I can use. Through that, they will just see, pre-watch those videos and
Google
they come
Classroom
ready
also.
to the classroom. and we can have the higher level of this application in the classroom. The knowledge level they will have on their own. So higher level.
Victoria.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
But my question, let me become still specific. What would be the video content that you send for psychoanalytic learning? Would you send the definition, or would you send the information about Freud, or what would be there in the flipped learning? It's a good thing you have said. Please try to elaborate on the content of the material you send before the classroom.
Means what is psychoanalysis?
Introducing.
Yeah. Introduction, like, no, what is psychoanalysis, and in what fields that could be used, and what are the things they come with, the ego, super ego, what it covers. So everything beforehand, the knowledge level, if the like definitions and all, if the students are thorough with, next level giving where we can use that. So in that way we can have discussion in the classroom. Application level, higher order thinking we can have in the classrooms. But the previous, the definitions, knowledge level, they can be thorough by themselves.
Okay, Victoria,
you mean complete notes.
Shall I suggest to what you have said? Instead of sending the definitions, information beforehand to the students, for psychoanalysis, I feel you can send some videos in which the person is behaving differently. Okay, like he's throwing
tantrums,
tempers on somebody, or one person sitting very moody. So, the behaviors of people with emotional problems. Okay, you will just send those videos to the students and ask them to think about that person in the slide. That's all. Okay, you will not tell about what is psychoanalysis, the definition, etc., etc. You just send some 4 or 5 such videos to the students. That's all. Okay, then you will start with why this person X was doing that way, why the person Z was doing that way, why the person P was doing that way. They will come out with their own analysis. Then you will link to their unsatisfied eats. Okay. Like that, you will get connected to the urges, the eats, etc., etc. Okay. So instead of one thing, of course, I agree that you will send the information. One thing, you can make your introduction very motivating, and then you can learn better by sending only those videos without any interpretations to those photos. Okay. There are various ways of introducing. You are a teacher in a B.Ed college. You do it better than me. But me as a teacher before in a B.Ed college, I feel these can be used as an introduction to motivate the students. And all of us know the moment we motivate, our work is over because the student goes till the end. Very
that stimulates thinking.
Good attempt, Victoria.
Thank you.
Will anybody suggest something else? I mean, how?
Good, madam, good. Your suggestion is very good, madam. It creates a kind of interest among the students. They come, they discuss before the class starts. They discuss with their friends, and a kind of curiosity we can arise in them, madam. Very good methodology.
Very good. Okay, will anybody tell me how you use online education as supplementary to your classroom teaching in any subject of B.Ed or any subject of degree, whichever you are teaching, like computer science or economics, whatever it is? Let me have one example from other participants other than education teachers.
Madam.
Yes.
As an English teacher, as you suggested to Victoria, madam, since I teach soft skills also as a part of their syllabus, I can send the pictures of various personality traits.
Good.
In advance.
Yes.
And then when I go to the class, I can ask the students to interpret what each personality is, each picture signifies. And in that way, I can relate, I can connect the students as what is the importance of soft skills and how they need to groom. As I mean, if they sit with a tilted head or with a bent posture and all. So in that way, I can do that, madam.
Whose answer was that? You didn't introduce yourself.
This is Akhtar Banu, madam. Akhtar Banu.
Because I'm not able to see your face on the monitor. I couldn't get what it is. Good, good.
Is it one? Am I visible now, madam?
No, I think it's a limitation of my screen. I can see only 3 teachers, Victoria, Dr. Chandrakant and Yashoda are visible. Okay, it's all right. Nice, nice answer. Good that all of you are active. So it was nice being with all of you. Okay?
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
I think 1:15 is the end. Or
yes, madam. Yes, madam. Yes, madam.
And now I can see Akhtar Banu.
Very good presentation, madam.
Thank
very
you.
good
Thank you very much,
presentation.
madam.
Though we are not from a B.Ed background, we learnt many techniques, madam, how we should prepare, whether it is offline or online. I'm very grateful to you, madam. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Praveen. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
ma'am. Thank you, madam. Very big thanks to you,
Thank
madam,
you very
for
much,
your
madam.
wonderful session, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, friends.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you.